standing in the streets of central London, not far away from the Old Bailey Central Criminal Courts, where tomorrow Tommy Robinson will be prosecuted yet again for contempt of court. When I say yet again, it's not for anything new. It's for what he did a year ago, for which he was already found in contempt and then released by the UK Court of Appeal in a unanimous ruling that said the first finding of contempt was improper, illegal. Tommy falsely was prosecuted and falsely served 10 weeks in solitary confinement. As you know, we crowdfunded his legal defense a year ago, but instead of leaving good enough alone, Theresa May's Attorney General has chosen to take a second crack at it. Now, where I come from, and in the United States, that might be called double jeopardy. I guess they don't have that here because they're taking another run at him. You know, Tommy was the first journalist to be sentenced to prison for contempt of court since the 1940s, but I guess that's not enough punishment for Theresa May. They want to put him back in. It's rather incredible to me. But just as incredible is how blasé the United Kingdom is about the whole thing. I don't know a single member of Parliament that found it odious that a journalist was imprisoned. Even when the Court of Appeal said it was improper, I didn't hear a peep. Only Lord Pearson of Rannoch, one member of the House of Lords, spoke out, but other than that, silence from the political class. Actually, that's not even accurate. Glee from the political class when Tommy was arrested. You'd think that Reporters Without Borders or some other civil liberty types would care. They didn't. I didn't see a single article by any worthy pundit worrying about journalists being imprisoned. I'm really worried about the reporting as much as the law, and that's why I'm here in town and bringing with me 8 other journalists actually from other jurisdictions, because I don't know of any journalists in the United Kingdom, at least in the mainstream media, who give Tommy a fair shake. And forget about Tommy, who report accurately on these grave matters at hand.
My charge that I'm being brought back in a politically motivated case by the Attorney General, that Theresa May's government, they sat on this case for 5 months. The charge I face is that I caused anxiety to the Muslim paedophiles that have been convicted of raping young girls. All of these journalists here today, all of these journalists with your cameras, my charge was for taking a photo. My charge was for asking them how they felt. Exactly what every one of you just done to me right now. The law is equal. I think I'll give a proper speech when I come back out. I want to say thank you to everyone who's come down here today. A message, a simple message, a message to the fake news media. Your freedoms are at risk as well. It's your freedoms that they're trying in here today. The ability to take a photo of someone walking into court. That's what you've all just done to me. That's what I face prosecution for today. And never miss. Never miss a photo opportunity. Vote Tommy.
I am standing amidst a boisterous crowd outside the Old Bailey Central Criminal Courts in central London. I'd say there's about 500 people on the pro-Tommy side, and looking up the street, I see about 24 Antifa and Jeremy Corbyn Laborites, all with their prefab signs. On this side, a much more organic grassroots protest. Those are the professional protesters. But of course, the real problem is not the banter or the debate on the streets. I don't think it's going to get violent, although it has in the past. Antifa's tactics is deplatforming and violence where possible. There's a lot of police. You can see the police in the yellow vests here. I think there'll be excellent order. You don't want to riot outside the Central Criminal Courts. I think the main problem is inside the courts itself. Because why are we here today? We're here because Theresa May's Attorney General has chosen to re-prosecute Tommy Robinson again for the same incident for which he was held in contempt a year ago outside the county court in Leeds, UK. Just a quick reminder, Tommy was live streaming from his phone on Facebook about a rape gang trial of more than 24 men. The jury had finished their deliberations. It was judgment day. Tommy was outside the court, didn't talk about any details inside the court. All he did was read the names of the accused, and he read them from the BBC state broadcaster website. But for that offense, or some other offense, we're not quite sure, a squad of police swooped him, you've seen the footage, grabbed him, put him in the back of the truck, took him to a police station, took him to court in a less than 10-minute trial in which Tommy himself didn't have a word to speak. He was sentenced to 13 months in prison, packed off to prison that day, and was shortly thereafter transferred to a high-risk prison dominated by Muslim gangs itself. Tommy had to be put in solitary confinement for his own safety, said the warden of the prison, where he was starved because, of course, the Muslim gangs also ran the kitchens. As you know, Rebel viewers crowdfunded the legal appeal. The Court of Appeal, led by no one less than the Lord Chief Justice of England and Wales himself, issued a scathing rebuke of that decision to imprison Tommy, and he was freed thanks to Rebel viewers. You would think that that would be enough. You would think that that would have humiliated the establishment enough to have been exposed as being so abusive, but no. Geoffrey Cox, Theresa May's new Attorney General, has made the positive decision to re-prosecute Tommy for that original offense.
Nice and easy.
First of all, I'll just fill you in on what's happened today. And the fake news media have started already. Any of the journalists that are in court today who sat and listened just read the Standard's news report. Get it up. It's the Standard news report says that I jeopardised the trial of men who have raped children, okay? The charges I now face on the 4th of July in a 2-day trial have completely changed from the original. They've changed 3 times. The charges I now face, and let me tell you why they've changed. On the 21st of November, before a High Court judge, one of the Muslim paedophiles serving time in HMP Leeds appealed his conviction. He appealed his conviction on the basis that Tommy Robinson prejudiced the trial. The High Court judge refused his appeal. The High Court judge said that I never prejudiced any trial.
That's an excerpt from the Ezra Levant Show, which is a show I do every day. I do a monologue, interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. But you've got to subscribe to it, which you can do at premium.rebelnews.com.